Teneil Whiskeyjack I come from Sad Lake Cree Nation out of Treaty 6 territory on Turtle Island, and I'm just happy to be here. I started off as an actor and a performer. It was at the age of 9. My first gig was actually Stories from the Seventh Fire, so it was an animation adapted to the Cree language and the English language. So that was my first ever gig, and I know that as a child, I really liked watching black and white movies, True Hollywood Story. Like I really liked old Hollywood, like Annette Bonicello, Elizabeth Taylor. And watching films like that, I remember telling my mom one day, "Mom, I want to do that." And from there, we just kind of went to a film festival. And the late Jimmy Herman had actually gave us his agent's number. And then it was kind of, from there, I just started auditioning. And then I came as an actor. And then from there, in my teen years, I broke off into a little bit of dance. For a long while, I actually stepped away from it. I went into the social work field, but I was always still very involved in creating, kind of on the sidelines. I do a lot of Indigenous contemporary dance, bachata, salsa, and anything really that has a lot to do with movement and breath.
Nice. Mm-hmm. That's carried over into your healing work too.
Yeah, actually I own a consulting company, Spirit Flame Consulting. And essentially what Spirit Flame does, it guides others, particularly women and youth, on a creative process into bringing out their own expression through their gifts. So we kind of delve into the means of movement, meditation, breath work, land-based practices, getting them out onto the land and connecting from body and land, as well as we do a lot of like yoga movements and kind of how do we tell stories, bringing in the land's elements through our bodies. Yeah, and I also facilitate trauma-informed wellness workshops along with that. I think when I started off as an actor, in the beginning, when I was young, going into teen years and a little bit into my early adulthood years, it was showing up and performing. I really didn't have a creative process. I just knew how to get my lines down. There were certain things that I would do. But when I started doing my own healing journey and delving into my own self-realization and going back to ceremony, and also looking into energy work and Reiki and how do we heal through energy of the body, how do we heal through the land and through our teachings. And that took on a whole other meaning for me in creating. I found my own inner healer when I started coming back to the arts, because for a long time I took a step back. And when I took a step back, actually that was so much creative energy that I repressed. It actually had a significant amount of influence on my womb. And as an Indigenous woman, as a Amiskwaciwâskahikan, our womb is actually our form of our creative life force energy. That is our power, that's where our inner spark derives from. And actually our wombs, as women, we are so connected to the land through that.
What do you really hope to hang on to from this process in future projects, or what's something that you experienced so far, because we can't even see what's going to happen yet?
Sometimes I think that it wasn't so much about being product oriented. Like I think the colonial way, we can really get attached to a product. And that once that product is there, that's it. But in the Indigenous ways of storytelling, healing is not linear. Our stories are not linear. Our stories always evolve, just as we evolve as humans on our own journeys and our own path. And I think taking away what I can is that this helped me not only develop a sense of leadership skills, but also a sense that if we're going to create, let's go back into smashing the hierarchy that is typical theater And let's come full circle. Let's develop a process in Ayita that we are able to rematriate and bring women as a whole and all of the women that came into this space. Let's rematriate. Let's put women in positions of leadership, and through storytelling, through community work, because it wasn't just about telling a story, it really was bringing in the community of Sad Lake. It was bringing in other women artists with their gifts and their different types of expression and working together as a team. And I really feel that it's helped me grow immensely in my own spirit, in my own body, in my own confidence as a storyteller, but as a human, because it really segued into a lot of wellness. It really segued into, like, we step into these ways of, like, not just telling stories, but it was like wellness, it was breath work, we were doing visualization work. So we were calling it the Ayita workshops that are gonna happen outside of telling a story. Mm-hmm. So I think even as a mother, me being a mother of two, my children watching me create and be so passionate in my artistry, in my dancing, in learning to take an idea from a small seed and birth it into a whole production. I really wanted them to see their mom do something like that was so close to her heart, spirit.